on to the coaching staff, and we've got some news there where John David Baker moves on to Ole Miss, and that is had a domino effect of a number of people switching positions, being added and moved into some key roles across the board.
Yes, as reported, I believe it was last night or today. John David Baker will be leaving USC. He was USC's tight ends coach. He will be leaving USC to go to Ole Miss to join former USC head coach and offensive coordinator Lane Kiffin, who is the head coach at Ole Miss. So he is a part of a numerous amount of staff moves that's taken place here in the last couple of I want to say the last couple of months or so. You got to remember USC let go of their offensive line coach and Tim Drevno, who really the offensive line lacked production this past season in the run game as well as with the pass game as well. They also let go of their strength and conditioning coach, which turned out to be a shocking move. It was a surprising move that happened, but USC made a few additions here. They hired Marshall Harrington, who is the director of recruiting. Again, USC, they're known in football today. Let's put it like this: in football today, there's a lot of positions for recruiting. There's a lot of jobs for recruiting, and so USC go ahead and add Marshall Harrington, who have done an outstanding job. I believe at I can't remember where he was, but Harrington is added as director of recruiting. Robert Steiner, who is the director of football sports performance. Now, he was at Notre Dame. He was at Notre Dame last season and done an outstanding job with Notre Dame. I believe this is basically USC's new title for strength and conditioning coach, but they went ahead and added him to try to up their strength and conditioning as well as figure out what they need to do to improve in that area. And for offensive line, they hired Clay McGuire. Now, Clay McGuire was offensive line coach at Texas State. Now, where the connection lies in is that him and Graham Harrell were on the same staff at Washington State when Mike Leach was there. Mind you, air raid, Graham Harrell running the air raid system at USC. They hire a guy who is familiar with the air raid and familiar with Graham Harrell. So now you have everything that's complete in the air raid system that can make the offense click even more. Remember this past season, USC kind of took a little bit of a step back. It kind of looked like they took a little bit of a step back with production reasons, for a lot of reasons. But now they look to improve on that side of the ball. They hire a new offensive line coach who is familiar with the system, who's familiar with Graham Harrell and his offense. And now they can try to take a step forward again in the production of this offense in Slovis's third year.
Talking USC football, we got Matt Lowry on the line from Conquest Chronicles on SB Nation here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. This is what you can do for us. Hit the like button. You can head on over to Conquest Chronicles, check out the work over there, and of course, subscribe. That way you can join in on the live streams that we've got running just about every day here at the Voice of College Football. So check out the live streams by hitting that bell for the notifications. That way you know when we're going live. All right, Matt, it was great to track you down and get the rundown on all these USC players going back and forth. So it's going to be an interesting offseason. This isn't the end of it. We've got National Signing Day coming up, the second version here, the first Wednesday of February. Not a whole lot there with USC. They pretty much have their class in place, but we may have a guy or two get picked up, and then we're headed off to spring camp here, hopefully. So good to see you, and you have a great day.
Thank you, Mark. You too. Thanks for having me.